Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to another video of Phoenix Plume. Today I will be going over a somewhat old leader, being the OP05 Yellow Enel leader. And this leader, in my personal opinion, has been one of just my favorite, just yellow leaders in general, as he really embodies what I think the yellow color is, and that's just life manipulation. And I know recently, this yellow Luffy down here has been getting a lot of love as one, he's a starter deck leader, and a lot of people have easy access to him, and he just has such a generic effect with Sit's life. But I mean, come on, this NL is classic, and you can never get over just being able to heal on your opponent's turn. It feels so good to heal from leader effect. And so this list is it has some new cards, but it's very old. Enel has been basically running the exact same game plan since fucking when I started the game, basically. I do know that some people have been trying this leader with the Thriller Bark package. Probably would be better than this stuff we're playing today, but I just don't like that Thriller Bark package too much. Because when I think of yellow, I think of this 10 cost Porta's DAs. I got in the One Piece game and OP08, and it was set right after this, and this card just embodied the yellow color to me. Big body, heals you, can rush down. This Enel reminds me a lot of it. We have this classic Katakuri from OP03 being able to modulate life, and that's just what I embody the yellow color with, is life manipulation. And so that's why I wanted to bring this Enel leader back. I've been testing him the past few days, changing my list a lot. Like, I know I used to run the 9 cost Yamato, and that was a staple in this deck for a very long time. But I replaced the Yamato with the 8 cost Kid from OP10, and I really do like the change because the Yamato was nice as you got that heal. However, you just barely KO'd anything off of her effect. So here we are. Oh, we got two of our Shirahoshis. That's funny. We'll play one of them. Looks like we're going against another old leader with the blue Doflamingo. We're in old versus old right now. Let's see how they do. Oh, this Two-Toss Teach is so good for this. I remember when that came out in the starter deck, it was like one of the best cards Teach should have, or Doflamingo could have ever gotten. So we'll just go 5. And with this matchup, we do want to focus on board. So, especially later in the game when we get just more bodies on the field, we want to make sure we can get as many like board control as possible. So I'm gonna Zeus to get rid of Law here, and then I'll just replay the blocker. I could have played Kitanojo, but considering if she would die, we wouldn't get to heal, and because they could just set up a combo like this, maybe get another Law on the top of their deck. I didn't want them to just bounce our entire turn and then have 2 Laws. See, this is what I was worried about. 9, we'll take it. We are down to 0 life already. Not the greatest thing in the world. We have a huge hand. That happens a lot with this leader early game, but we use it. There we are. Organized a bit. So we have sits. Go 5 into lead. Get a card out of his hand. Or add a card to his hand with that. Then we'll go Kitanojo plus Shirahoshi. Our turn. He'll probably play out the Teach again. Oh, or he plays Sengoku. Let's see what he gets off that Sengoku. It's the Weevil. It's very good. Yeah, this deck, without its 4-cost Secret Jinbei from OP07, is missing a lot of the power that made it a top-tier threat maybe a year or so ago, but it still can put in a lot of work. So 7, I'm going to use the event here. Then he'll go 8, use leader effect at the Weevil. I'll just block with Shirahoshi. Like, I'm giving her up really early, but I have another Shirahoshi in hand. And next turn we can start healing with our Enels. So, let's go the Hiyori. We might be able to place a Beige on our life. Yep, we'll place the Beige. Then we have sits left, so I can play the Shirahoshi. Leaves me with 4. I want to play the Shirahoshi after I attacked his board, so we can go everything. I think I like going 8 into Law here. Or 9 into Law, sorry. Yep, and then we'll go sits into life. He gives us a Mihawk counter. Then we'll go with Shirahoshi. Now our hand is looking much smaller, but next turn we can heal with our Enel if we want to, or if there's something we desperately need to remove, we have the Katakuri. Heal swing sits into sits. We want to protect that. He'll go 9 into sits. Add another Weevil. We cannot defend that right now. And then let's see. We'll just go 10 toss to Enel. Start healing up. Let's see, we'll pitch the Chikanojo here. And then I'll swing into his lead with 5. Yeah, and when I think of this Enel deck personally, I just think of you do not die, or it takes a lot for you to die, because it just has so much ways of returning life, getting, just life on top of life. I know when I was testing this deck the other day, I was playing against a purple-black king, and my board had a few different ways to heal if they died. I was running a few different cards back then, but he dropped the 10 toss Kaido, and I went from 1 life to 5 life, and my board completely changed because of it. We got the Hawkins, we use the effects to get more cards in hand. He goes 8. Let's see. Didn't take it. We hit the beige. A bit late for the beige. I was kind of hoping for something different, but it is what it is. We now have 3 beiges in hand. Okay, we got the Brule for turn. This is just an old tech thing I'm running. It's nothing crazy, but just ain't a trigger for a blocker is not the best, or is not the worst. All right, so let's do another 10 toss to Nell so we can get a heal. Let's get rid of. Let's see, I think we'll swing into the Josu's probably best here. Pitch the Brule probably, and we'll go 5 into lead. Yeah. I don't know, I was really debating pitching the event there, but the event could be useful with the 3K counter. Or if I find another Hiyori, the event would be good to use a Hiyori, put the event in my last life, so I get a double heal off of it. They'll swing sits. I would counter, but I kind of want to be at 1 life and just get another card in my hand. And we see that trigger being useful from the Brule. We're able to do another 10 cost. Swing into his Weevil. We'll pitch a beige to heal. Yep. And then we'll go 5 into life again. And so this is where he's staying a bit less explosive. He's going only 3 cards in hand. We were able to chain those 10 drops back to back, which really put him behind. Unblockable, we'll let him kill that. We have so many big bodies in our deck. We still have not seen that many of our 10 cost aces. And we got the Robin. No need to play the or use the Robin's trigger, but we might end up playing her on our turn, which I think we will do. So let's go 9 into sits, and then I'll Robin trash his life. We are only on 1 life right now, but we were able to get rid of his big attack on board. Yes, he's only still 2 left in hand. We were able to get a lot of cards out of his hand there. And he is playing these Weevils, which they don't look like much, but just being able to refill his hand every time he plays one is pretty strong. He goes sits. Do I take it? I think I will. Yeah, just as I had lead effect there. Now, here's a hard thing where we don't have that many. We don't really have a crazy play this turn right now. I could Hiyori put Beige into life. I like doing that. Take top, put Beige in there. Let's see. Go 8 into life. I will go 6 into life with Zeus. And then going 7 into life again. And then there's a chance he has another Perfume Femur here to get rid of our blocker. But we do have the leader ability still. We have all 2Ks in hand. Alright, he has to block out. He might try and just build safe here. I could see him doing that. Let's see. He goes 8 into 6. I will let him take that, yeah. I think I'm more worried about being killed out of nothing here with like a Perfume Femur. So, take that. We know we had the Beige on top from the Hiyori. Alright, yeah, he just has 2 blockers down. Let's see, we could get around 1 blocker with the Zeus. Just push for lethal. Or we can take the Dame out to be a bit longer with this Ace. Both things being good. Because our board is so weak right now, we'd have to find a way to spend 2 for Zeus, KO one of his blockers, swing with lead to get the other blocker, and then attach so much to on. I don't really like that, so we'll just do that. We'll go 10 into 6. Again, just attacking his board was better there. No reason to swing 5 as he has the 6 blocker. But now we're back up to 2, basically 3 life because of the leader ability. And this is why Enel, I think, he will just always be a good yellow leader because he can heal himself once per turn. And that's just, even compared to having 6 life like the new yellow Luffy, Enel's effect is just so generically strong at keeping you alive, there's just no way around it. And yes, he does get countered by some leaders. Teach can mess him up pretty bad. If you're able to burn his last life away, that's pretty bad as well. But if you're not able to do most of that, then you're pretty good. We got another Brule here. That's really nice to see, honestly. Swing 7. We'll just give him a Brule since we had 2 of them now. We don't have to worry about dying super fast. I will take this one just as I want to see more cards. See, we want to see that Enel. We'll pitch Capone to heal. Okay. I'll swing 10. We will Zeus. And then just swing bid with lead. That should be game. Alright. Yeah, see, his hand didn't even have much. That was good on us. That was, again, we were able to continuously heal. You know, how many times we healed just from characters. We healed once from the Ace. Then we chained 3 10-drop Enels to all heal. We healed with leader effect probably 4 times that game. And we just never died. And the great thing about healing the way we did and how Enel's played is we just got to draw so many cards because of that. Yes, we go through those cards with discarding for leader effect or discarding for the 10 cost Enel. But then when our opponent swings in, they just go straight back to our hand or they go straight to our board from a good trigger versus in another deck, say if your deck isn't yellow, where you can't heal, then you just don't see those cards at all. And so not only does it prolong the game, but it also makes it give us a better chance at winning, and I do really enjoy it. So, oh, we're going into yellow Luffy here. So we get to see both kind of generic yellow decks go back to back against each other. Mold in that. This Flampe I really like because I don't mind taking my own life in this deck in almost every matchup, just because, again, we do have so much healing. Because he is running a yellow deck, he does have access to burn cards, which could always be a scary thing. Let's go 5. He might have the event here. Yep, he does. Oh, this event is so strong for this deck. Being able to reorder his entire life means if he has any of this Zero Toss event, he can just put them at the bottom and get that free heal off. I've honestly debated running Flaming Dragon King in this deck, though, because I don't stay at the same life like he does that often. This deck normally will not even keep the same bottom life. We just go through our life and cycle more and more cards. It's almost not worth it reordering it the way this Luffy reorders his life. Then he gets the Sanji. It's to search. He gets an Usopp. So we know he has at least one 2-take counter. Then he'll swing 5. Alright, so our endgame's looking decent right now. We're seeing all of our endgame cards. I'm just gonna Zeus early, get rid of the Sanji. I know, that might have seemed a bit aggressive. We used a lot of 2Ks in our hand, and we went down to 1 life. However, getting his body off of his board, he has his Shinbei. We can honestly just expect every time we hit into his face here, he will get a beneficial trigger off of it. Just because we've seen him use the event and we know he's reordered it. So we can just full-heartedly assume that he will have control of every trigger he's getting, and it will be a good trigger. So, let's see here. I just want to control board right now, honestly, until next turn when I start using my big bodies and pushing life aggressively. That sits right now. Yeah, I do think this leader was like the power creep on it's just insane. Just Sit's life is so good. Because when you compare it to the old Sit's life leader in the Red New Date, like he had a strict downside. And so just seeing a card with no downside like this is very insane in my opinion. We'll give up a Brule here, and then he's trying to swing with that. We're fine taking it, because we'll use the trigger. We'll just heal 2 here. Use you. Yeah. Yeah, and so that puts us at a good spot, as we were able to just go through so many cards, heal up. We're now at 9, so swing, he'll get. This is the 1 life he has not stats, as this is off of Kuma, so then we're able to trash that one. Oh, he stat to Nami. That would have not even been the best here. Even if he got rid of our Shirahoshi, we still would have been able to heal 1. Him burning that was rough, as if we got that Capone block, that would have been nice. Like, it's probably not game determinative trigger, but depending on the matchup, that Capone can just win games by itself. Right, well, Zeus. Then he'll Kuma. Probably give up the Shirahoshi blocker to that. I don't want to go to 0 right now. Then this next turn, I'm either going to Enel or Ace. I think I'd rather Enel. Enel's just a better attacker. Plus, he can heal every single turn, so it makes the opponent want to get rid of him more than, just leaving it up. And let's get rid of the Kuma while he's rested, or try to. He might let go through just to heal, honestly. I would not be surprised if I saw that. Yep. And then we'll go 5. He might just take it, see if he gets a good trigger. I feel like his deck is like 80% trigger cards. Alright. And then their turn. I feel like we're never getting to this kid's second effect until the last 2 turns. Same with our Kikunojos. I feel like those cards will be very useless to us, apart from just discard fodder to our 10 cost Enel or our Enel leader. He gets another Bonnie. These Bonnies are getting pretty rough burning. And this is where you see the Enel's biggest weakness and why he's not played the most in current meta, is just if you can burn his life to where we don't get triggers or we don't get our effects off, it becomes really bad. And so he swings into our board here. Luckily, he can't clear our Enel. We got that. Flampe, so no trigger. Discard the Shirahoshi, just as having a 2K in hand would be beneficial. But next turn, I'm thinking we get to heal 1 from the Enel, because I'd rather... Actually, we get to choose either heal from the Enel or heal from the Ace here. It really doesn't matter to us. I'm thinking... Go that. He'll give us a 1K or a 2K. Alright. I'm wondering if he's running the unblockable event. He probably is, because I've seen that be very useful. Let's see. We do have our bid bodies on board. He might drop another Bonnie here. If he just chains a third Bonnie, it's really rough for us. Or if he gets like his 8-cost kid. Oh, he gets the Stussy into the S-Snake. Oh, that's rough, as she can make it easier for one of our guys to be attacked into by their Bonnie. We'll probably do it to the Enel, I feel like. Yeah, Enel's always the better one to clear in these scenarios, because Enel's the one who can heal himself, or who can heal us every turn, with Ace only being the on play. That's the Bonnie. We are definitely not letting that Ace go. We want a bid body on our field. And we'll just take that. We'll try another 10 cost here. Is very nice, though. Go 10 into Bonnie. I don't know if he'll give us a Stussy or if he'll just give us counter here. I can see both. Yep. I don't know, 12 into 10. This one I feel it's more likely for him to give us the Stussy versus 2 cards out of hand. Or he gives us the 2. Okay. Guess he wants the big board. He does have 4 attacks on board, 5 attacks on board. So we could just try and push lethal with attaching the right amount of Dawn. Because we only have 3 life right now. When you think about leaders fetch and only 1 card in hand. I think that's what he's going to end up doing. See, if we can get a Beige, or if this card is a Beige or the event, I think that's the only way we're able to pull through this. Probably. Well, that's not going to do it. Alright, this card needs to be either the event or Beige. I think this is the end now. None of our last 3 life was really anything we needed to see. Oh, and he did have the unblockable event too, even if we got that. Then we went one part down, we'll amend the Basil. Oh, that was. And he stat 2 unblockable events with his life. That was funny. I guess what there could have been a world where if we had sent all of our tats at face, we might have been able to outvalue him with our 10 cost. Though those Bonnies are so strong, being able to just burn a life on play and then have rush. So here I'm thinking only this last day might be or this next day might be our last one. So it's gonna be a shorter video today going over an old leader but a personal favorite, and I can definitely see this leader being very good, especially with OP 15 coming out soon. Having the yellow side of that being Sky Island, I could feel like this leader gets some incidental support, and I'm excited to see how that looks. So we are playing against Usopp. Funny enough, though, P14, this leader also gets some incidental support because there are 2 Dressrosa leaders in that set. There is the blue Rebecca and the blue-red Lucy, or Sabo. I personally am really excited for that Lucy leader. I am a big fan of the old mono red ace, which had a really similar effect. Right, he might just give us the Bartolomeo here. Oh, since he's now down to 3 life, I will play the Shirahoshi, or the Titanojo I meant. As it was either playing Titanojo or playing the Hawkins, depending if he went to 3 life or not. Because Titanojo, she's such a strong card, but just in case of removal stuff, I like her effect to always be active. Versus something like the Hawkins, his effect is always active. So if I'm really worried about it, there are times I'll play the Hawkins over Titanojo. Though, especially against these multicolored leaders who have less life, Titanojo is just such a strong card. Oh, Titanojo might die here. Actually, if either of these 2 die, we get to heal. So I'm honestly okay with it. He might attach 1 to lead and swing sits. Or he might have a Leo. Leo could be really good for him. Interesting that he didn't even trash that Rebecca. That just trashed off his life. So we know he's down 1 Rebecca, which is good. That's not how Zoro works. Alright, swing 5. We'll just take it. Then we get another Titanojo. Oh, that must suck to be him. He kills our Titanojo, then we just get another Titanojo right back off of it. Alright, let's see. In this scenario, we'll start with a sits into life. And oh, okay, he just blocked, so that's a draw off Usopp. Alright. See. And then we have sits. Play a Hawkins. And I could play a Hiyori. Put a Brule into life. I like that. Sets us up with a good trigger. And sets our board up as well with another swing with the Hawkins next turn. And then hopefully with either just us drawing it, honestly, if we're able to get a 8-cost kid on perfect curve, that would be amazing. If not, I can play another Hawkins, I can play the Flampe, and then on our 10-cost turn, we do have the Ace. So we can start doing that 10-cost train of rushing and healing. Yeah, this Ace is nice, because even if we don't have the means to give him rush, he is always just an on-play heal, which does come in clutch so much. Swing 7 into life. We'll take it. We know it's the Flampe. 7 into Teach Nojo. Let's see. I'm debating we no-tail with that getting a heal. Honestly, I'd rather another attack. So I will give them the Flampe here. Yeah. I'd rather keep Chichunojo around so we can attack Chichunojo, Hawkins, lead. Let's see if we can play another Hawkins, and then we have Ford on to attach. So we'll go. All right, or we'll start 6 with Chichunojo, then we'll go 7 with Hawkins, 7 with lead. Play out another Hawkins. I like that. Who is. Alright, he gets another. He gets Bartolomeo here. Go 7. I could try and just go for his board right now, but I think trying to just push life, because he is on so little, is just the smartest way. I'm never afraid of him being lethal in any way. We have 2 blockers, we have 2 life, and we have leader effect. I feel like we are in a very good position right here. And see, he just had to Tyros by himself because he can never find that Rebecca, and that puts him in an even worse position. As on 7, you never want to just play a Tyros by himself. So he does have the block with Bart, but I think this is pretty much in the bad for us. He can swing that Tyros right away at our Tiknoja or our Hawkins. We want to protect at least one of them. Alright, we did a Zeus. That Zeus will be amazing, getting rid of one of his blocker. Or we can just rush Ace, depending on how things work out. So, alright. Well, yeah, so we saw, oh, his hand was really bad, because he had so many cards without counter. I only had 3 2Ks. We would have done with that so much. And so there we are. We won 2 games, lost 1. So decent showing for this Enel. We didn't see any extremely meta decks, but that's all right. And just a quick look over for it. Here's the deck list. If I were to change anything, I would get rid of these 8 cost Hatakuris. I know they're been a staple in yellow since OPO3 when it came out, but I can see other cards being ran personally. That 9 cost Yamato, like I said, I used to run. If I would replace it, I'd only replace it with high-end cards. So here, let's go to high-end, maybe see some cards that could be replaceable. Okay. And also, before anyone asks, I'm not running Kuma because in IRL, I cannot afford Kuma. And personally, when I play on Sim, I like to do cards that I can do in person as well. It's just for the slight case that a deck on the Sim interests me so much that I would want to play it in person at my local tournaments. That's why I try and keep it 1-to-1. And so this Kuma just will probably never end up in any of my deck lists unless I'm just doing a 1-to-1 video on the best deck or a deck list from the internet and how it works. So that's why Kuma's not in there. I'm sure some people had questions about that. Other cards I've debated adding is this Doflamingo. If you have 2 or less life, he gains Rush. Then on KO, we heal 1. It, as you can tell, very similar effects to what we do run the deck. He will basically always have Rush, as we are always on low life. Though with him not having counter and his heal being tied to if he would be KO'd, I just don't think he's good enough right now. I personally think there's so much other forms of removal in the game. If we go against any blue deck, he can just bottom deck it. If we go against purple, they have a great way of freezing it with a lot of their cards. And if we go against yellow, he might just not even be a problem, and they can just burn us out, and we didn't get his heal right away. That's why these other cards, like Enel, Ace, or even this Curry, can all heal us on the turn they're played, which is a big thing. Let's see, I've seen some people either run the 6 cost Linlin or the 7 cost Linlin. Both of those are good cards. They're just good on play, strong bodies. if I'd play either, I'd play the Sitz Toss, and why I don't play the Sitz Toss is one, on our Sitz Dawn, we'd rather play this Robin. She's, in my opinion, much better. One, she has counter, and two, she's just straight burn. And my other reason for not running either of these Gwendolyn's is they both, or not this one, but the Sitz Toss makes us discard a card from our hand, which personally I like to keep my hand pretty sizable until late game, because late game we trashed it a lot with the 10 Toss Enel or the Enel leader card. I also was trying out this 7 Toss Enel with the event. Let me see if I can find that event. It was the 4 toss. This one, I am God. It's just 4 toss. You put up to 1 7 or less, 7 tossed or less Enel from your hand into play, and then trash top card of your life, so it becomes 1. This could be good. Like that old combo. I just don't think like getting a rush body with no other effect is good enough. And because there are so many Luffys being ran right now, his second effect doesn't trigger that often, which is the sucky part. And then I feel like whenever we talk about this leader, we have talked about the biggest thing, which is missing Raido. Ever since Raido got hit, I don't think it needed to be. It just put this deck in a worse spot. We don't really have that much ways to get around an opponent's board apart from just attacking it. I guess our only way is this 2 toss Zeus. And apart from that, we are just attack, attack, attack. So if a board can spam big enough, or say against that yellow Luffy deck that we played when we got those 2 9-cost Bonnies, we were just unable to do anything. If we still had Raido, we could have Raido'd one of them and then swung into the other with like a 10 cost with 4 Dawn attached to it or something. So those are just some cards that I have some opinions on, some that I've tried out in the past, and this was the yellow Enel leader, in my opinion, the leader that never dies. And I'll see you all next time for the next video. That is Phoenix Plume heading out.